Well. I'm a huge fan of James Jones, former wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers, played 8 years up under Mike McCarthy, and last year he had nothing but great and glowing things to say, not only about Mike McCarthy, but he was a huge Dak Prescott fan. I love James Jones' takes on sports. Well, he had something very interesting to say on their new show called The Facility. And I think every Dallas Cowboy fan need to hear what he said. And I'd love to hear your response because I think he has the very mindset that everyone is in one way or another, which may be a very dangerous mindset for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G. I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Let's talk facts. James Jones, I'm telling you, this man right here, people need to listen to him. He gives some very honest and straightforward takes as it applies to these sports topics. And one of the things I like about him is he doesn't mind putting his co-host on notice that there's no bull with him. He gonna tell it like he see it. He gonna tell it like he feel it. He gonna tell it according to what the stats say. He has a very interesting take on the Dallas Cowboys. I want you to hear what he says. I'm going to react to it, and then I'll let it play a little bit more. And then at the end, I'm going to give my analysis, and I'm going to tell you what I think overall. So for those of you who don't want to hear my analysis, I'll put a link to the video in the description, and as well, there will be some timestamps. So without further ado, let's roll it.
James Jones. Yeah. Let's talk about it, big dog.
Let's talk.
Why should we believe in the Cowboys? They dominated again, but they dominated in week 1 last year, 40-0 versus the Giants. New year. Why should we believe in the Cowboys?
We shouldn't. We shouldn't. And y'all know how I feel about Coach Mike, man. I played 8 years for Coach Mike. I love Coach Mike. But at the same time, this is what the Cowboys show in the regular season. They played better last year in week 1, as you just stated. 7 sacks, 3 takeaways, 0 points, only allowed 171 yards. We was talking high on the Dallas Cowboys last year.
Now, I want you to notice something. Those were defensive stats. He's talking about how great the defense was last year. Now, when we think about the offense didn't really take off, if I'm not mistaken, till around week 3 or 4-ish. But their defense, Quinn opened up with a bang. He put the whole NFL on notice. But the Cowboys have put everybody on notice with this Saints game. Now, this is the game after the Browns. We haven't even touched on anything yet he said with the Saints. But it's irrelevant what he has to say about the Saints because what he's about to say next is what I want to deal with. Let's listen.
The only thing that matters for the Dallas Cowboys is the playoffs. And any Dallas Cowboy topic we have on here, that is going to be my answer. Whether they lose, whether they win, whether Dak Prescott plays well, we know in the regular season Dak Prescott plays at a very, very high level. Micah Parsons plays at a very, very high level. The defense plays at a very high level. In the postseason is all that matters for the Dallas Cowboys and Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones and Trayvon Diggs. That's all that matters. Make sure you are healthy. Make sure you are playing good football, get in the playoffs, and then play this type of defense. And then play this kind of game.
A little bit? You don't believe in them?
Now, I want you to hear something. I want to reiterate what he's saying. Let's put this in our minds. Dallas Cowboys have been 12-5 for 3 seasons. They have nothing left to prove in the regular season. Dak Prescott, phenomenal regular season. Micah Parsons, phenomenal regular season. CeeDee Lamb, phenomenal regular season. Dallas Cowboys overall, phenomenal regular season, 12-5, 3 seasons in a row. What else can you do? 13-4? Okay, 14-3. But what does that prove? I mean, the only other thing you could do in the regular season is get the number 1 seed and get the bye week. I mean, that's really the only thing that you could accomplish. And I don't know if you accomplishing that would even be a big deal, because at the end of the day, you still have to play the playoff game. And the reason why I say this is a big deal, what else can they accomplish? Do we realize how hard it's going to be to motivate the Dallas Cowboys? Because even they, I promise you, they're in that same mindset. They can't wait to get to the playoffs. But they got to be careful, because if they start saying they can't wait to get to the playoffs, they might miss the playoffs if they don't get motivated every single game to say, not only are we going to make the playoffs, but we're going to make the playoffs and win. You got to motivate them. And the one thing I've noticed with the Cowboys in all of these great seasons, the motivation factor. It's like they get to the playoffs and they got a weird swagger about them. You can tell they're talking a big game. And if they go up against the team they think they should beat, they're not playing like we're going to beat you. It's like they're playing like they're looking past that team. McCarthy, I heard he has a 21-game plan. So to have a 21 game plan, that's the Super Bowl. That's the Super Bowl. So I'm sure in his mind, he's not thinking they were going to go 17-0. I'm sure he's saying, hey guys, it's a 17-game season. Let's try to win every game at home. At the minimum, let's win 8 games at home. If we can win at least 4 games on the road, that's 12-5. And if we can steal a couple, that's 13-4 or 14-3. But I'm sure he doesn't want to go down. So in that 21-game plan, he's saying, and if we don't get the number 1 seed, we're going to knock off the wild card team. We're going to knock off the divisional game. And of course, we're getting to that NFC Championship game and we're going to the Super Bowl. But how is he going to motivate them? Because I promise you, even the Cowboys got that attitude. They're just ready to get to the playoffs because that's the only place they can prove anything to anybody. Dak Prescott is 2-5. So what? If he goes 12-5 in the regular season, everyone will be saying, so what? James Jones, he hit it right on the head. So what? If he goes 11-6, I don't think anyone blinks. They just say, so what? 11-6 probably still gets you in the top 5 seeds. So what? With Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, it's playoffs or bust. It's win in the playoffs or bust. None of it matters. And that's why James Jones, his attitude is correct. None of us. And this is why this loss to the New Orleans Saints, I'm not sweating it. I'm not sweating it. Everyone's losing. It's people lose. They lose football games. It's no big deal. We know it's the Dallas Cowboys. Everyone's going to magnify it. None of it matters. At the end of the day, they got to get to the playoffs and they got to win. Because if they don't win, everyone's going to keep saying it's the same old Cowboys. Can win in the regular season, can't win a playoff game. Dak Prescott is great in the regular season, trash in the postseason where it counts. Michael Parsons, he's got a reputation too. He eats in the regular season, disappears in the postseason. Even down the stretch, people were saying that last year, and the stats don't lie. I mean, that's what the stats show. CeeDee Lamb, we saw him last year, phenomenal season, but he got a little flustered because basically the Green Bay Packers said, we're not going to let you get the ball. What is this team going to do? Mike McCarthy in his 5th year with the Green Bay Packers, he won the Super Bowl. And I'm sure he's trying to dangle that carrot in front of his players with that 21 game plan. He's dangling that and saying, this is what I did with Green Bay. We can do it too. I believe he can too. I'm not agreeing with a previous video where Stephen A. Smith said it didn't have the personnel. No, this defensive personnel, to me, is better than the defensive personnel they had last year under Dan Quinn. You give Dan Quinn this defensive personnel last year, no, Dan Quinn would have ate. Dan Quinn might would have stayed around another year. The linebacking core the Cowboys have right now, it's 10 times better. Kendricks, Overshown, I mean, just those two guys alone, they're 10 times better. Kalen Carson has come on. Deron Bland will be back mid-season. You'll have Deron Bland. You'll have Jordan, I think his name is. You'll have Kalen Carson. You'll have Trayvon Diggs. The safeties are great. No, Dan Quinn would have ate with this defense. So it's up to Mike Zimmer to get this defense turned around because the Cowboys are playing for the playoffs. And they got to win. They got to win a game. They got to win games because, again, the regular season means nothing. But that's going to do it for me. I had to let you hear this video and give my reaction. If you like my reaction, please like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so you'll know the next time that I drop a video. So until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.